Next property is allotropy. Allotropy is nothing but the properties of element which will be existed two or more physical form. The property of an element. The property of an element which will be existed two or more physical form, which are existed two or more physical forms are called, it become an allotropy. Now among the nitrogen family, bismuth cannot exhibits allotropy. Leftover molecule will be exhibited the allotropy. We will take for the nitrogen. Nitrogen will be exhibited two allotropic forms. One we will call alpha nitrogen, and second one we will call it become a beta nitrogen. Now this alpha nitrogen and beta nitrogen will be interconverted based upon the temperature. This alpha nitrogen will be converted into beta nitrogen and beta nitrogen will be converted into alpha nitrogen. That particular temperature where we are going to be transformation will be taking place alpha nitrogen to beta nitrogen, we will call it become a transition temperature. The transition temperature of alpha nitrogen to beta nitrogen is minus 238.5 degrees centigrade temperature. That temperature only we will call it become a transition temperature of nitrogen. TT, transition temperature of nitrogen. Whereas in another element is phosphorus, it can be exhibited various forms of allotropy. Then we will call it become a white phosphorus, red phosphorus, scarlet phosphorus, black phosphorus, etc. So among these, white phosphorus is highly reactive. Among the phosphorus, white phosphorus is highly reactive. Due to this, phosphorus will be existed in the form of atomicity is P4 due to high strain between the phosphorus atom. So that's why the white phosphorus is more reactive than the remaining phosphorus. Now arsenic also will be exhibited in various forms. Then we will call it become arsenic will be exhibited various forms, that is in a yellow form, grey form and black form. So different forms it can be exhibiting, this takes place. Now antimony also yellow, grey and we will call explosive. So we are familiar to know that allotropy is nothing but it is a phenomenon of an element which will be exhibited two or more forms, physical forms. Then we will call allotropy. That phenomenon is known as allotropy. Now except here bismuth, try to understand, bismuth does not exhibit the allotropic form, but actually in our textbook is given as an except nitrogen, but it cannot be considered nitrogen. Please try to understand, it is a mistake was given there. So here only bismuth cannot be shows the allotropy. The leftover element will be shows the allotropy and it will be exhibited various forms. Next property is catenation. The catenation is nothing but the self-linking of atom to form a long chain. Linking of atoms to form a long chain, we will call it become a catenation. Among all the elements, the carbon can be shows the highest catenation capacity, highest catenation property. Okay, after the catenation of carbon among this nitrogen group, we are going to be seen that the nitrogen also can be formed the chain form, as well as phosphorus also can be formed chain form, as well as arsenic also can be formed the catenation capacity. Here when we are going to be seeing that the carbon-carbon dissociation energy, it become a 347 kilojoules per mole energy is there to break the bond of carbon-carbon. Where if you see this, the catenation of these among these elements of the 15th group, it required 159 kilojoules per mole, it required 213 kilojoules per mole, whereas it required it become 169 kilojoules per mole energy. So try to understand, when if you are going to bond, dissociation energy of nitrogen is less when compared to the leftover elements in the 15th group of elements. The reason is that in nitrogen there is having inter-electronic repulsions. Electronic repulsions. Due to that, the bond dissociation energy is less. If you are going to see the electronic configuration 1s2 and 2s2, now it become a 2p3. Here these 1s2 electrons, it will be undergoing the inter-electronic repulsions. There is no d orbitals are present in nitrogen. But where if you are going to go for the phosphorus, they should be having the d orbitals. They should be having a 3d orbital among this phosphorus. So that's why if any electrons will be there, that should be gets excited into d orbitals. So there is a less inter-electronic repulsion. So that's why they are having the more bond dissociation energy. Now this will be called, it become a catenation capacity of the atom. Next property we will call it become an atomicity. Atomicity means the number of elements which will be existed at room temperature. So atomicity is nothing but when if you are going to be taken, the nitrogen can be exhibited as a diatomic molecule at room temperature. So the atomicity we will call it become a 2. Whereas the remaining elements in phosphorus, they should be exhibited P4, and arsenic also P4, and bismuth, antimony P4, and bismuth also it can be exhibited the P4. So it become a P4 due to having that they are the tetrahedral structures are present among the phosphorus atom, and it can be exhibited the angle of 60 degrees. So atomicity is nothing but the existing of an element at room temperature having the number of atoms are present. So among this diatomic molecule is nitrogen. So atomicity is 2. The remaining leftover elements atomicity is 4. Highest atomicity can be exhibited, it become a sulfur in 16th group of elements. The sulfur having the atomicity is S8. So it will be exhibited in the form of which one? Crown shape. Now all the sulfur atom can be exhibited in the form of crown shape. That's why we call atomicity is 8. But here just 4 and 2 atomicity will be exhibited. Next property is covalency. The 15th group of elements which will be exhibited the covalency. The maximum bond formation by the element is called as a covalency. Maximum number of bond formation with other element is called covalency. The nitrogen will be exhibited, the covalency is maximum is 4. It will be exhibited maximum is 4. Now here, due to absence of d orbitals, so the leftover element will be exhibited. It may be phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, and bismuth. It will be exhibited the +5, or it will be exhibited +6 covalency. Now here nitrogen, due to after 3 electron bond formation, what are the lone pair of electrons are there, that should be given, it become a Lewis acid site, and it should be exhibited the maximum covalency is 4 only. Okay, so due to absence of d orbital. But whereas in a phosphorus and arsenic, antimony and bismuth, due to presence of d orbitals, their valencies exceeds up to 6. Okay, we are going to be taken, it become an antimony hexafluoride in the form of complexes, because antimony pentafluoride, it can be accept a pair of electrons from the Lewis acids to converted into it become an hexafluoride. the maximum number of atoms valency which is bonded with this antimony is 6. So that's why the covalency of that complex S is 6. Now we will take the phosphorus pentachloride. The covalency is 5. Covalency is 5. Okay, covalency is 5. So here the maximum number of bonds formation will be taking place with respect to the other element is called, it becoming a covalency. So try to understand, only the covalency of nitrogen is just 4 and the leftover elements will be exhibited the covalency 5 or 6. 5 or 6. Next topic is multiple bond formation. The nitrogen, its atom only which can be formed the multiple bond between the nitrogen atoms. If you take N2 molecule, it can be formed N triple bond N. One it become a sigma bond, the remaining two we will call it become a pi bonds. Okay, remaining two are we will call pi bonds. Nitrogen will be formed the multiple bonds, whereas phosphorus and arsenic and antimony and bismuth does not form the multiple bonds. Multiple bonds due to here inner core electron repulsions. Inner core electron repulsions. The bond dissociation energy of N triple bond N is 225 kilocalorie per mole. 225 kilocalorie per mole. Now we will compare with this multiple bond formation. If you are going to be say that the overlapping between the nitrogen atom, what are the pi bond is formation is takes place, that is always it becoming a p pi bond only. What are the multiple bond, if it is in a form it becoming a p pi bond. We are going to be discussing this multiple bond within the atoms, we will call within the similar atom, or else it can be takes with the nitrogen phosphorus, it can be formed the multiple bonds with the other elements also, but there should be formation of p pi d pi overlapping. What are the pi bond is formation is takes place, it becoming a d pi p pi, because from phosphorus onwards, whereas taken from the phosphorus onwards there is a d orbitals are present. So that's why always overlapping is takes place, p orbital as well as in a d orbital to formation of p pi d pi overlapping. For example, such kind of example we will take, it becoming a phosphorus trichloride oxides. So we will take it become a triphosphoxychloride. So what are the pi bond is formation between the phosphorus and oxygen? That pi bond is always it becoming a p pi and d pi overlapping. Okay. If you take some of a multiple bond formation between the phosphorus and nitrogen, okay, phosphorus and carbon, the formation of pi bonds are both we will call it becoming a p pi d pi only. P pi d pi, but such kind of overlapping cannot be seen in d pi p pi in nitrogen due to absence of d orbital. So the nitrogen will be form the multiple bonds, whereas in individual elements of the same linking atom cannot form the multiple bonds. Okay, but if it is connected with other elements like oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, it is also form the multiple bonds, but there is always existing of d pi p pi overlapping will be seen in leftover atoms.